Hey, New Release Today. This is Phil Joel here, talking about my new book, Redwoods in Wales. Hi, I am Phil Joel, and who am I? I am the lead singer for a band called Zealand. I'm also the bass player for Newsboys United at the moment, and we have been touring all over this fair country lately. And a little of my backstory: I grew up in New Zealand and came to this fair country in 1994 to be a newsboy, and began traveling, doing my thing, and I met a girl, as you do, an American girl, and got married, and a little later on made some American babies. Yeah, and which is always fun, and I continued touring with Newsboys, but spent 13 years traveling, touring, writing, singing, being a part of that whole ministry. And at a certain point, felt the Lord say, "Hey, it's time to step down from that platform. I want you to focus on raising your American babies, and I also have different ministry opportunities for you. I have different things in mind." I didn't exactly know what that meant, but basically what the Lord had in mind was He was going to put me in front of teenagers, lots and lots of teenagers, and I just fell in love once again with youth ministry and this whole generation coming up. I just think they're fantastic. I just think they've got the best kind of energy ever. But at the same time, they happen to be the most medicated, depressed, and suicidal bunch we've ever come across. But they don't have to be. They don't have to be at all. They just need to understand that God sees them, God gets them, and He actually likes them. Because if they can figure that out, then they won't be looking for those three things in the wrong places. Anyway, it's the same for all of us. You know, if we're not getting the good stuff from the Lord, we're going to try and get it from other places that will just make us sicker. Anyway, back to my story. Last year, reconnected with the Newsboys, and we began touring, and we haven't stopped. It's been like a year and a half of of touring and madness and fun. And so last year, I was also opening for the Newsboys tour with Zealand. Well, I was pretty busy, but in my spare time, I did this. I wrote a book. I wrote a book called Redwoods in Wales. And primarily, I guess I wrote this for students, but I really just think it's for everybody. And it addresses some of the big issues of our times. Redwoods in Wales, the title probably makes no sense to you whatsoever at the moment. But let me tell you a little of the story. I was in Northern California a couple of years back, taking a walk on a beach late at night, and I came across a whale on the beach, which was just kind of mind-blowing. The whale had died. The whale had died because it, at some point in its journey from Canada or Alaska to Mexico, it had got distracted. It had gotten off course, disoriented, and lost its way, and ended up on a beach, breathing shallow, dying slowly. And this just was tragic to me. And the next day, I ended up traveling further north in California and ended up in the redwood forests and amongst these enormous, beautiful trees. And the contrast between these two scenes was pretty vast. The night before, seeing this whale on the beach, it was just so incorrect. But it sort of represented a lot of people's lives. A lot of people just get distracted. Something catches their eye. They begin to get off course. And slowly they end up in sort of shadows, secrecy, shame, breathing shallow, and just feeling alone. So anyway, the book, Redwoods in Wales, comes out very soon. If not when you see this, if not, hopefully it's already out. And it's designed and written to help people get off the beach, get some air back in their lungs, get back to the place they're meant to be, which is a life lived with God in the center as He directs your path and keeps you on course. It's an exciting adventure to be on. So Redwoods in Wales.